Hi everybody, Andrew Cherin, attorney at law. I'm a personal injury lawyer in Seattle and I represent people injured in car accidents. Today my topic is what happens if you're at fault for a car accident but you're injured in it. What do you do? Um, First of all, my question is who told you you were at fault for the car accident? How do you know that it was your fault? Sometimes I've found it very useful to look at the police report and the damage to the car, and then determine whose liability actually, uh, who actually caused the car accident, based on my interpretation of what happened and your interpretation of what happened, and seeing if we can mold the facts to show, based upon the police report, the impact, other people's statements, witness statements, who actually caused the car accident. And sometimes you may think that it's your fault just because the police officer says it's your fault, but the police officer's report is only half the battle, and a lot of the times that's not even admissible in the court. So if you're looking at the police report in general and saying, okay, I was cited for a ticket, or the police report says that the car accident was my fault, you may actually have a case if you believe that it wasn't your fault for whatever reason, but the police officer saw it another way than you did. I can use that information to use against the insurance company and sometimes prove that it was actually the other person's fault and not your fault for causing the car accident. So just because something like the police report or the insurance company saying that it was your fault or you don't have a case, you actually may have a case. But if it does turn out to be that it was your fault or there's nothing that I can do, I'll let you know. But I'll look into it for free, definitely, if I think there's a case. And that's why I give free consultations, just to see if there's actually a good case here or not. Things that aren't good cases, such as if there's no insurance coverage on your side, like you have UIM insurance. If you don't have UIM insurance, it's probably not a good case if the other person doesn't have insurance. But I can look into those things and determine if the other person actually does have insurance, or if they may have someone else that may be responsible, like for instance a bad road design, or maybe their employer is at fault, or there was another car involved in the car accident that actually caused the car accident and we can get liability onto them. But it's all about giving those options and trying to figure things out. So if something kind of seems fishy to you and it was someone else's fault, that may be a good case, even though the police officer and the insurance company for the defendant are saying that it's not a good case and it's your fault. I can take a look at that and make sure to figure out whose fault it actually is. Now, like I said, those cases that aren't good cases are cases where it's your fault, and it's pretty well clear that it is your fault, and I've determined that as well, that it's your fault. In those cases, how do you pay for your injuries? It's tough in those cases to pay for injuries. Get someone else to pay for them at least. If you have personal injury protection on your insurance policy, that's a good way to pay for medical bills. It's a no-fault policy too, so no matter if it's your fault, they're going to pay out for the damages that you suffered and all the medical bills that you've incurred over the course of that time for treatment from the car accident. So that's one of your options. Another option is to use your medical insurance to pay for the treatment. That's a good option as well. If the car accident wasn't your fault and there's no insurance on either side, those cases are good cases to file for a victims assistance from the state. So crime victims assistance provides recovery to people that are hit by people without insurance, because driving without insurance in Seattle is illegal. So the crime victims has their own money set aside to pay for your medical treatment that you have in that suffered in those car accidents, and also it provides disability in some cases as well that could pay for your lost wages. You can also try to apply for permanent or partial disability with the state, and they may or may not allow that based upon the circumstances of your injuries and the extent of your injuries. But I mean, at least you have an option in that case versus going after a person. Personally, is slim to none chances that you'll actually see any of the money of that. So while you may have a good case and you may, have $1 million case, your injuries are worth a lot. If there's no insurance on the other side, for that person to personally be able to give you any money, it's slim to none if they don't have insurance. Because people with, you assume, I mean, you can look into it a little bit on your own too, that people that don't have insurance probably don't have any assets that you can realistically go after, or jobs that you can actually garnish their wages. unless it's pretty clear. But it takes extenuating circumstances to really look into all those things to see if those are good cases. Most likely, if there's no insurance, it's not a good case. It's probably someone that doesn't have those assets. Anyways, if you found this video, I hope you found this video useful. And if you have been in a car accident, I give free consultations, so feel free to give me a call. My number is 206-850-6716, and you can find more information online at www.lawcherin.com.